Welcome back folks, new patch for Crimson Desert is out, specifically patch 1.12, and over the weekend I was playing it to see what it has to offer, and there is a lot of stuff here which I want to talk about, because this patch adds a new feature that lets you decorate the area outside of your house, as well as new equipment and furniture, alongside with various bug fixes and stability improvements, so today we're gonna be going through it all. Now, as I already said, they have added a new feature that allows you to decorate the area outside of your house, which is very nice considering that the area outside is quite empty, so now we can actually place some stuff. Because alongside it, they have added two new tools that can be used to craft items, and a lot of these items you're gonna be actually putting outside or inside of your home. So these two new tools are the workstation, and the workstations can be found in multiple places, such as the Greymane Camp or Timberham Sawmill. Now, if you are in the Greymane Camp, all you have to do is go behind this guy who's selling you furniture, and basically you're gonna see this thing. At first I was not even aware that this is actually going to be a workstation, but yes, it's going to be this closet which you open, and there you can craft stuff. So a little bit difficult to find, but I was able to find it. And the second thing would be looms, and they can be found in multiple places, but the easiest one you can go and find one is the Hernand Taylor's shop, so you can just go there and use it. Because they have added 58 new items for your house, with the facilities being 4 tools, 10 sautés, 7 fountains and 6 wells. For lights, it's going to be 8 braziers and 6 street lights. And for decoration and pet furniture, we have 4 carpets, 6 hanging planters, 4 toys, 1 music box, and 2 pet furniture items. Now, as I said, these items can be crafted at a loom or a workstation, and you do have to find recipes for it, which you can obtain from various places, from shops, various shops throughout the world, claw machines, the flower basket crafting mission, the box of fortune, and the orb roll challenge. So all of these things put together will give you all of this new stuff. Now, also good news for Damiane and Oongka, because they can now equip Visiones and read memories. So if you do want to play more with them throughout the game, and you're gonna just want to explore, and if you find a memory fragment which you want to read, you don't have to switch to Cliff anymore, so you can just use these two and you're gonna be fine. Because on top of that, Damiane and Oongka can now mount Blackstar. Now, I would gladly show you them on Blackstar, but as I already said, and you probably know it by now, is that for the past 4 patches my Blackstar was completely bugged, and honestly it's becoming a little bit annoying, because after every single update I have been sending my report to Pearl Abyss to fix this, and now for 4 weeks I just cannot mount Blackstar. Wyvern works normally, and I now thought like, hey, maybe if I switch to Damiane or Oongka, maybe I can now mount Blackstar, but that's not going to be the case, because the thing is just stuck. It just thinks that the cooldown hasn't passed, and this was actually present for the past 4 weeks. But one thing which I was able to test is that they added chain attacks while sliding for each weapon type. So you can see if I slide now and use an attack, you're going to initiate a strike, and if you also have like certain abyss gears on your weapon, this is going to be a very powerful strike. But overall, yes, if you slide now and you do an attack, Cliff and every other character, including Damiane and Oongka, can actually have those attacks on top of it. Now, also for Cliff, they have added 5 new headgear items and 1 set of armor. I think this is really nice that they've been adding helms, because you have a lot of great armor types in this game, honestly, but when it comes to helmets, I'm gonna be honest, the selection is not really there. But today I think we have more. Because these things are the Silent Conqueror Plate Helm, Sentinel of Tenacity Helm, Feral Sentinel Helm, Sentinel of Trust Helm, Steelmaw Plate Helm, and Greymane Light Armor. Now, when it comes to finding these things, for example, Greymane Light Armor can be found with Carl in your camps, you can just buy it there. When it comes to other helmets, you can get them from all of the traders, weapon traders and armor traders in, for example, Varnia. You can get them in Calfade, you can get them all over the place. So just go visit the armorers and traders there, and you're going to see all of these new helmets which look very nice. But also for Damiane, they've added a new pair of gloves, which is the honorary Greymane Cloth gloves if you want to get them. And as far as accessories go, they've added the Greymane signet, so you can just go and get that one as well. Now also on top of that, they've added the Box of Fortune to the mysterious shop. Honestly, when it comes to Box of Fortune, it's okay, nothing special, like it's just RNG, you know what you're gonna be getting, but you know, it's kind of a nice loot box here and there which you can get if you have some money on the side and maybe you want to try your luck. Now as far as content goes, they've improved the game so that the character loading screen is also displayed when loading as Oongka or Damiane, so that's going to be that change. And additionally, the loading process has been optimized to slightly reduce loading time. I was testing to see how the loading time is gonna work now compared to like a previous one, because you know I have a stopwatch on my previous recorded footage, so I was able to get it. I mean, for me, I think it was like 1 second faster than before, but I'm also gonna be honest, I haven't seen a huge difference every single time, but it's good that they just keep optimizing this, because why not? Especially I think maybe if you are on console, or maybe you're using a different, I don't know, storage option which is not the fastest, well, this should be working better. Also, they've changed the name of pets, the tailor shop, to pet shop, so just kinda easier to do it that way. Now, Cuckoo Cooler and the enhanced Cuckoo Cooler can now be sold if you want to do it, you know, for some reason. They've also adjusted the foul conditions for certain skills in the all-out duels. It's okay, but I'm gonna be honest, duels in this game, especially when it comes to grappling and other stuff, it can be very, very tricky, especially with the equipment you're using. So I don't know, like sometimes they're cool, sometimes I think there's too many rules, especially if you come in as a really strong character. So yeah, it is what it is. Now also they've added new ways to obtain the following knowledge entries, which previously became unobtainable after completing certain quests. So that means like the exploding bismuth spider, the jarback crab, skull knight followers Jared, dark sword armor spectral soldier, and the giant rock tusk warthog, so just go and pick them up if you haven't already. Also a very nice change, they've improved the logging so the fine timber drops when logging quality up level 2 is active, so this is very, very nice, especially because we're gonna need fine timber to craft all of these new things at looms and workshops. And also they've improved rematches so that it is now available at a stronghold undergoing reconstruction, which means the one which you have liberated prior to that, which has been added in the previous updates. Now as far as the controls go, they've improved the system so that the other inputs are not performed while an interaction prompt is displayed while aiming. Thank you very much for that. This is actually very good. Now also they've added a key guide for the explosive evasive shot if you need it. They've also fixed an issue where when customizing controls, if a disabled key and interaction key were assigned to the same input, the interaction function would incorrectly be triggered by holding the input. So if you are gonna be changing your keybinds to this, just keep in mind this has been now fixed. And also for Mac, they have fixed an issue where the placeable items could not be placed in-house using a keyboard and mouse. As far as combat and action goes, so now when you retry a boss battle after dying or for similar reasons, settings changed during the previous attempt are now maintained, so you don't have to change them every single time. The maintained settings are as follows. So the knowledge obtained through observation, primary and secondary weapon, the selected element, arrows and food items assigned for quick slots, so what you have placed, and also items assigned to be used instantly. They've also did some improvements for the aerial force palm, so it can be used in safe zones if you need it. They've also improved nature snare, so now it can be placed while flying, so this is very nice. And also they've improved the nature snare so that Oongka and Damiane also acquire it when it is learned through observation. They've also improved the skill executed when using the quick swap with a spear, and for Damiane they've added a unique sit animation and adjusted the attack range of the unarmed whirl kick. Also they've added a new attack pattern for the Queen Bismuth Orback Crab. If you haven't fought it already, I suggest you do. It's a very nice actually boss fight because you have to think a bit how you attack. And also they've improved the Wyvern's dive animation, which makes it a lot smoother now if you can see in the gameplay. Now, you can definitely see that they want to make Damiane and Oongka sort of more viable if you want to play with them throughout the game if you're playing for the first time, because they can equip Visiones and all of that stuff now, like mine and all of that, to make them really a viable alternative to Cliff, which before, I mean, you played primarily as a Cliff, but everything else, you know, you were sort of exploring with them, but when it comes to missions, you were still playing as Cliff, so I kind of think they want to change that up with some of the future updates. Now, when it comes to UI, they fixed an issue where the enemy icons would sometimes not display on the minimap. I had this problem constantly, and after this update, for the past like 2 days, I did not have it. And also they've improved the collectibles chest so that owned and unowned items are differentiated by the shade of each slot, allowing players to easily check whether they own each item. Very cool. When it comes to graphics and settings, they've improved the settings menu so that now you can move directly to the top or the bottom of the menu. And also they've improved the game so that a prompt for setting for a minimum font size is displayed when launching the game for the first time. Now, when it comes to other fixes, I will go through the ones which I found interesting for myself and also the ones which sort of people were talking about. There is a lot here, so you can go check it out yourself because I don't want to repeat myself and drag on this video for too long. They fixed an issue where eggs would disappear when hatching them after reaching the maximum number of owned pets, which is something that people were talking about in my previous video, so now if you did it, you are going to see those eggs in case you want to hatch them again. They've also fixed the issue where mounts could attack an ally while player was wearing a mask. I was not familiar with this, but yeah, I know some people were. They've also fixed the issue where the cuckoo bird's egg or a wyvern egg would be duplicated and added to recoverable items when hatched under certain conditions. And also they fixed the issue where Blackstar and wyverns could not land on the ground. I can confirm for wyverns, now it works when it comes to landing on most places. For Blackstar, sadly I can't. Now, on top of this, because some problems did arise for people in patch 1.12, they've released a new hotfix alongside it, and these were the patch details. So they fixed the issue where furniture placed outdoors disappeared in certain conditions because this was introduced in 1.12. They've also fixed the issue where players could not climb onto moving objects in certain situations. They fixed the issue where the light on glass materials appeared unnatural, the issue where terrain on the path to the Sanctum of Fate was floating in the air, because I've had this issue, and also they fixed the issue where Skunky would disappear when placed down in the camp, so he's not going to disappear again. And these were all of the changes for 1.12 and 1.12.01 hotfix. I'm gonna be honest, this patch really cool, especially because some of the previous patches were very like going into pets, and it seems like now they want to just have a little bit more when it comes to house, when it comes to customization, when it comes to decoration. Basically what they're doing here, as much as I can see, is that they just want to increase the amount of mini games and stuff which you can do around if you're not doing any of the main or side missions in the game, especially because this is going to buy them time until they have like a bigger DLC or maybe an expansion later on. But we're definitely getting something bigger in the future, which I'm very excited about, and at the same time, alongside all of what they've been doing, like, I'm very happy that they keep updating the game every single week, honestly. But in any case, really good update. I haven't had any problems beside, again, as I said, not being able to summon Blackstar for the past 4 patches, so hopefully and maybe next patch is going to fix it, because, well, I'm going to report an issue again, and you know, what happens. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more. Check us out on Twitter and Discord, and huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.